Picture this. A quiet suburban dawn shattered by the creak of a garage door, where a self-appointed queen of the cul-de-sac gets busted clutching a stolen drill like it's her birthright, her oversized shades slipping down her nose in pure, unfiltered panic. That's how Alex Rivera, the guy everyone whispered was the troublemaker for no good reason, finally turned the tables on the HOA dragon lady who'd been breathing fire down our necks for years. And oh, the sweet irony when her mask of community standards cracked wide open, revealing a petty thief with a clipboard and a god complex. In the sleepy enclave of Maple Ridge, Virginia, where manicured lawns hid a web of ridiculous rules like no visible trash cans after 7 p.m., or holiday lights must be neutral white only, life felt like a perpetual HOA newsletter of doom. I'd moved here 5 years ago after a messy divorce, seeking peace in this picture-perfect neighborhood of split-level homes and picket fences. But peace? It was more like a pressure cooker, with whispers following me everywhere. That Alex guy's always tinkering in his garage, probably up to no good. They said I was noisy, antisocial, even hinted I was running some shady side hustle because my tools occasionally hummed past sunset. I kept my head down, biting my tongue as fines piled up for excessive mechanical activity, whatever that meant. Inside, though, I was watching, cataloging every absurd edict from Patricia Hargrove, our HOA president, who strutted around like she owned the deeds to our souls. Patricia was the epitome of polished poison, mid-50s, with perfectly coiffed blonde hair, pearl earrings, and a wardrobe of pastel cardigans that screamed, "I'm here to help," while she stabbed you in the back. She'd quote bylaws like scripture, her voice dripping with faux concern. "It's for the greater good, dear." But we all knew it was about control. She'd fine you for a weed in your flower bed, then smile sweetly at the next board meeting as if she hadn't just pocketed your dues for her community beautification slush fund. Rumors swirled that she'd driven out old Mrs. Jenkins with escalating citations over her non-compliant bird feeders, but no one dared challenge her. Me? I stayed silent. But my garage became my sanctuary, a neatly organized haven of wrenches, sanders, and that cherry-red toolbox I'd inherited from my dad. Until things started vanishing. It began subtly, like a bad dream you can't quite shake. One morning, my socket set was gone from its pegboard slot. I tore the place apart, blaming my own absent-mindedness. Maybe I'd left it in the truck after fixing a neighbor's fence for free. A week later, the power sander disappeared. Poof, no trace. Then the whole toolbox, engraved with my initials, vanished overnight. No broken windows, no jimmied locks, just an eerie absence. I lived alone, didn't lend tools, and the spare key under the porch mat, still there, untouched. Or so I thought. Whispers ramped up. Alex must be selling stuff online. Heard he's in debt. Patricia even stopped by one afternoon, her clipboard at the ready, peering into my open garage with that judgmental squint. "Mr. Rivera, we've had complaints about clutter. Everything all right in there?" Her tone was all honeyed worry, but her eyes scanned like a hawk spotting prey. "Just fine, Patricia," I replied evenly, forcing a smile. "Keeping busy," she nodded, but I caught the smirk as she jotted something down. That night, I changed every lock and installed discrete cameras, one on the side gate, another hidden in the garage rafters, motion-activated and cloud-synced. If someone was playing games, I catch them in 4K glory. The trap sprung at 6:17 a.m. on a foggy Thursday. The kind of morning where the world feels muffled until it explodes. My phone buzzed with a motion alert, and there she was on the feed. Patricia, in yoga pants and a windbreaker, fumbling with a key at my side gate. It didn't fit. I'd swapped the locks, but she didn't flinch. Out came a slim Jim from her tote bag, the kind mechanics use, and she worked the latch with practiced ease, muttering under her breath. My blood boiled, but I waited, heart pounding in the shadows of my kitchen. She slipped into the garage, flipping on her phone flashlight, and headed straight for my workbench. Unauthorized equipment, she whispered to herself, like a mantra, grabbing my brand-new cordless drill. That's when I stepped out, flipping the overhead light. Morning, Patricia. Shopping early today, she jolted, nearly dropping the drill, her face a mask of feigned outrage. Alex, this is an official inspection. Your garage violates Section 4.2, excessive industrial tools in a residential space. Inspection? I echoed, crossing my arms, my voice calm but laced with that edge she'd soon regret. With a stolen key and no warrant? That's called burglary where I come from. She puffed up, clutching the drill tighter. The HOA empowers me to ensure compliance. Noise complaints have been rampant. Your little hobby is disturbing the peace. My hobby? You mean fixing things for free while you fine us into oblivion? Hand it over. She hesitated, then thrust it at me with a huff. You'll hear from the board about this insubordination. As she stormed out, I called after her. Smile for the camera, Patricia. It's got your good side. Her step faltered, but she kept going, clipboard flapping like a defeated flag. By 7 a.m., I called the cops, my evidence queued up on my laptop. Officer Jenkins arrived, a no-nonsense guy with a mustache that screamed 80s cop show. So, the HOA prez is your cat burglar? He asked, skepticism dripping. I played the video, zooming in on her face as she jimmied the lock. His eyebrows shot up. Well, I'll be damned. That's clear as day. While he took notes, Patricia was across the street, haranguing poor Mr. Ellis about his mailbox height. Jenkins strolled over, badge gleaming. Ms. Hargrove, need a word about a break-in. She spun, sunglasses slipping. Officer, this is preposterous. I'm enforcing community standards. Enforcing with a slim Jim? Come with me for questioning. She sputtered. Do you know who I am? This is harassment. But into the cruiser she went, her protests echoing like a bad echo chamber. I watched from my porch, arms crossed, feeling the first twinge of that delicious reversal, the queen dethroned, if only for a morning. But this was just the opener. The real show was about to ramp up, with Patricia's web of standards unraveling thread by hypocritical thread. Word spread like wildfire through Maple Ridge's gossip grapevine, twisted and amplified by Patricia's spin machine. By lunchtime, she was back, questioned but not charged yet, marching door to door with her signature pearl-clutching outrage. Alex set a trap, she told Mrs. Thompson over iced tea. He's been defiant for months, undermining our harmony. I overheard it all from my window, her voice carrying that faux-maternal tone. We must protect our values. Dear. Neighbors eyed me warily. Some bought her line, whispering about my vendetta, but I didn't bite back publicly. Instead, I fired off a certified letter to the HOA's attorney, a calm recount of the incident, video timestamps, and a demand for their equipment inventory. I knew they had zilch. Our dues funded her ego trips, not tools. That evening, I cornered my neighbor Lena, a sharp-tongued retiree trimming her roses. "Heard the drama?" I asked casually. She snorted. "Patricia says you lured her in like a spider." "Lured? With what? Invisible cheese?" She broke in. "Lena." Her eyes narrowed. "My hedge trimmer vanished last spring. Blamed the grandkids. We swapped stories. Turns out, half the block had misplaced gear." I jotted notes, building my quiet arsenal. The next day, I hit the county records office, digging into HOA filings like a mole on a mission. The clerk, a bored guy named Pete, handed over stacks of papers. "Looking for dirt?" he quipped. "Just clarity," I replied. Boom. Missing minutes from 3 annual meetings. No election records for Patricia's last 2 terms. "This normal?" I asked. Pete whistled. "Only if they're shady. File with the state ombudsman. They'll sniff it out." I did, attaching my video snippet for good measure. Back home, I rallied a trio of allies. Lena, with her missing trimmer. Carlos, a night shift mechanic who'd lost his pressure washer. And old Mr. Patel, whose leaf blower had walked off. Over coffee in my kitchen, we listed thefts, dozens, all under Patricia's reign. "She's hoarding for the apocalypse?" Carlos joked darkly. "Or renting him out," I mused. "Heard the maintenance sheds her kingdom." We laughed bitterly, but the pieces clicked, her inspections as cover for swipes. That weekend, the HOA's Unity picnic unfolded in the park. Pancakes, forced smiles, and Patricia micromanaging the setup. Napkins folded triangularly. "People. Standards," she barked at volunteers. I sauntered up, envelope in hand. "Patricia, a delivery," she glared. "You're trespassing on event grounds. Public park. Paid by my dues. This is evidence. Affidavits from neighbors on stolen items. Cops and state have copies." I dropped it on the table. It landed with a thud. "Read up. Might save you a subpoena." She flushed purple. "This is slander. I'll sue for defamation." But her voice cracked, and as I walked away, whispers rippled. "What's in the envelope?" By Monday, detectives knocked SGT. Hale in debt. Kim, plainclothes pros. "Following up on your burglary report," Hale said. I showed footage, lists, the shed theory. "She's got keys to everything," I explained. "No inventory checks." They nodded. Warrant in pocket 2 days later. The raid? Priceless. Tools spilled out. My engraved box. Lena's trimmer. Even stuff from folks who'd moved away. A ledger too. Rentals to contractors. Cash under the table. Hale called jackpot. Fraud on top of theft. Patricia's empire? Crumbling. One pilfered wrench at a time. Tensions boiled over as the investigation snowballed. Patricia's facade cracking like cheap veneer under pressure. She doubled down, emailing the neighborhood. False accusations from a disgruntled resident threaten our cherished order. But cracks showed. Board members ghosted meetings. Whispers turned to outright doubts. I kept low-key, but inside, I savored her flailing excuses. At a pop-up coffee chat with Carlos, he chuckled. "She told me your cameras were invasive surveillance. Like her breaking in wasn't? We mapped more victims." A dozen affidavits piled up. Then, the subpoena hit my mailbox. Witness in a fraud probe. Digging online, I uncovered her shell company, fake invoices for leased tools that were our stolen gear. Double-dipping genius, if it weren't so slimy. I phoned Jenkins. How bad? Over 30K siphoned. Bored accomplices too. That night, our reform huddle at the community center buzzed. Chairs in a circle, whiteboards scrawled with forged elections, and kickbacks. A newbie, ex-board guy named Vic, spilled. She axed me for questioning bogus bills. Here's old budgets on this drive. We forwarded it all, watching her house get raided, vans hauling computers, files, her yelling at cops. This is an outrage against democracy, irony so thick you could spread it on toast. The state swooped in, appointing trustee Elena Vasquez to untangle the mess. Your docs blew it open, she told me. Illegal terms, void fines, everything post her first fake elections null. Audits revealed depleted reserves, overdue insurance, predatory fines forcing sales to her investor pals. One victim, a widow named Sophia, shared. Fines for my porch swing escalated to threats. Sold cheap to her recommended buyer. We cross-referenced. A dozen flips, kickbacks galore. The DA piled on coercion charges. Neighborhood vibe shifted. Volunteers scrubbed neglected parks. Meetings packed with real input. One evening by the shed, now a tool library, Carlos grinned. From thief den to community hub. Poetic. We barbecued that weekend. No agenda, just laughs and reclaimed space. Patricia, facing trial, her pearl-clutching pleas falling flat. The climax hit in a stuffy courtroom. Neighbors crammed in like sardines, the air thick with anticipation. Patricia sat shrunken, her beige suit ill-fitting, lawyer whispering futile defenses. Prosecutor Mia Locke laid it bare. From garage theft to embezzlement empire, under community guise. I testified coolly. She claimed inspection while holding my drill. Cross-exam. Vendetta? Her lawyer sneered. Nah, just wanted my stuff back. Witnesses piled on. Carlos on his washer. Vic on forgeries. Contractors on cash deals. Defense? Crickets. Verdict? Guilty across the board. Judge thundered. Abuse of trust. Exploitation masked as oversight. Sentencing. 6 years. Restitution $42K. House seized. No tears from her, just blank denial. Outside, Lena hugged me. She thought she'd rule forever. Changes stuck. Term limits. Transparency. My garage, open. Tools labeled. Neighborhood humming with honest projects. We rebuilt. Stronger. Her tyranny a cautionary tale. But here's the kicker that lingers. In a world where community leaders like Patricia hide behind rules to hoard power, was her downfall justice served? Or just the rare win against a system that breeds these clipboard tyrants? True or false? Anyone could have been her if no one watched?